I walk into Cone Valley Middle School and I go to the board and I just start writing like this. And 5 objects sailed past my head on the first day, throwing pennies and rocks. And they said, oh, hello. I turned around and said, who the hell did that? Who's the son of a bitch throwing this? Not realizing you're not in adult land anymore, you were a kid. The kids all look, whoa! It was so bad that they had a teacher walk out at noon. They had another teacher quit. They put a kindergarten teacher with 8th graders. And the kids had a bet. They had a pool of money on how many days it would take for me to quit. And they had a pool of about $95. And someone kept saying, one kid kept saying, hang in there, Mr. Clegg, hang in there. He had the over. Kids were gambling and oh my God. But I actually loved the school because we had a strong principal, we had great staff, and the kids really wanted to be wanted because most of these kids, we had kids living out of a car, coming to school, taking showers at the YMCA or the high school, sneaking in, and these were great kids. And if you give a kid half a chance, kids will always amaze you. It's the adults that always, that's probably the kids. The kids always amaze me, but I've always loved the teaching, loved Cone Valley. So I walked over to Hillsdale, and I go to my first lunch at Hillsdale, and they're complaining about the kid. This kid didn't have his pencil today. Like him a referral. And at Cone Valley, my last year there, we confiscated 6 knives in my classroom. And then Mr. Workman welcomed me to Cone Valley. He used to send this little Vietnamese boy that just got here, Twin, I think his name. Trick Win. And every time he'd send him, every Friday he'd come home and he'd go, hey, Mr. Clegg, you bring money Sunday, because Mr. Workman, he take your money. So, I love the staff. On both places, I love the staff.
Why did you change? What was
okay.
And what?
Please explain this to me. I'm a math teacher. This is an oxymoron, and there's a lot of morons going with this word. I was an involuntary voluntary transfer. Explain that to me. They came up to me one day in my classroom and said, you got to go to Hillsdale. You're being booted out of here. Because they had money for lower class size, but the money dried up, so they had to go to bigger classes. And I was a low man on the totem pole. And I was an involuntary volunteer. And they said, oh, you have to go there. I hope you're not too disappointed. I went, oh, really? And that story about falling was my very first day at Hillsdale. And the story that Tag told you, this kid actually jumped on the lunch table to throw this apple at my head. And missed my head as I'm wrestling with this other kid just beating the crap out of another one. I learned real quick, I stood back for a minute like hockey, let them get tangled up and then get it. I got in the middle right away and got clocked both ways. And this kid with an apple, I can see him, I'm looking on the ground, he's got an apple sailing right past my head. But you know what, those kids need love too. Maybe you thought an apple a day would keep the teacher away. Oh, they're good times. Oh. No, I miss everybody. All my teams and everything, especially the kids. See them all grown up and everything, going off to college now. Yeah, that's right. One of my favorite jokes, she didn't tell you, is, kids, you'd always joke with them and stuff. And I like 8th graders because they can take your humor sometimes. 7th graders will cry, and 6th graders will just run home to mom. But 8th graders take a little bit of humor, and they're really good kids. And then they go to high school and figure out what real life is about. Yeah, parents have no power then. This is my baby. This is my sister. Not my baby, this is my sister.
I'm the older of the 2 sisters. Let's just get that off the table. I'll take that on. A little bit of, maybe we should dish a little family note or something.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, for Kyle might think that he started the tripping and falling and the clumsiness, but no, it was there well before that hit on the head. So the year that Chuck got out of the Army and came home, I think he hit every car that was within a half-mile radius of there. He hit a school bus. He hit a car every time he would come home. So luckily he stopped hitting like big moving objects and it just started falling, and it was a lot safer for him. But for us as his family, it's really special to see all of you here and hear about the stories and how much you love him and how much you love Donna, who, you're right, they are a team, and they've been a great one over the years, and so it's really important to see him appreciated and be reminded of all of his accomplishments. What I think is amazing is Chuck wasn't an athlete in high school. He was very smart, and he was going to be the only one of us that ended up going to college and such, but he took a stint over in Vietnam, and my poor mother, I think, burned every candle that was in the county at that time. But, you know, when he was over there is where he learned to play soccer. And he came back, and in our world growing up, there was no soccer. There was no leagues. We didn't know what it was. And so he comes back, and it's just an amazing story that he made the college team. And we would go watch him, and we spent most of the time going, now what's that? What are they doing, and why are they doing that? And trying to figure it all out. But we were so proud of him, and then to go on and be a coach and to have the exceptional career that he did, you forget that it's your brother that's actually doing those things, because our job is to remind him that he's just one of us. It really was special to hear all of you, and thank you for sharing the great stories, because I never knew about the clothes, and now we have lots of material. How did we not know this? And we missed every Christmas that we could have tormented him about this. I really literally taken a picture of the clothes list, and I'm going to post it on Facebook for all my kids. But anyways, we love you, and I'm really excited.
Yeah, right.
My name's Scott. I've worked with Chuck for the last several years. I don't have any stories about him being a dumbass.
That's a shocker.
He's too busy playing his game.
I don't know how to say this. When I was a little boy, I grew up in a neighborhood of World War II veterans. And so, growing up, I was instilled with a sense of patriotism, love of country, and most an appreciation from all those men who came back home from fighting in World War II. And they all basically told me the same thing, how grateful they were for all they had, the friends they left behind. And as I grew up, went to school, history major, the whole 9 yards, that always stuck with me. And once I finally learned, because it's not like Chuck came on campus and said, yeah, I served, and I'm a big man. That was the very last thing to me I would ever talk about, would be his service. And I was old enough to remember that the Vietnam War was controversial, to say the least. And one time I remember talking to Chuck, and I asked him, well, why did you feel the need to serve? I mean, you know, countless people were taken off or got deferments, or you name it. And what I remember is that he said, well, you know, all these other boys are over there, why am I any better than them? And it took me, I sat on that, I stewed on that. Instead of making excuses, he did his duty, he did what he felt was right. I never served, I can't claim I know anything about hold a rifle, stand at a post, face enemy fire, peeling potatoes, whatever the case might be. But I'm at least smart enough to know that when others ran, he did what he felt was right, and I'm humbled by that. I'm humbled in the fact that I got to know this man, and I've never seen a happier person in my life than Chuck. This is a man who from what he said, he's seen stuff. He's been around things. All of this, the little, piddly things of life, ain't nothing. It's all gravy. And every day is a beautiful thing. And he's living proof of that to me. I admire that. And I said to friends, I joke, I got a bit of a man crush on the guy. I do. I look at Chuck and I say, this is a man's man. This is to me what a man should be. And I'm just glad to be in his company. And I've been humbled to work with him, and I'm going to miss him. I really am.
Really nice people, it's time to go. If you want to learn about a real man, play golf with him. Scott, I hate to tell you this, my friend, but Chuck Clegg is shiesty. Shiesty. The only reason he was drafted is because he didn't register for enough credits when he went to college. Therefore, his number was called. Let's just say that. And you guys know when you play golf with this guy. That's not a good lie. If you ever need a golf ball, call him. He has a golf ball catcher that's 6 feet wide. We're playing Coronado, and just watch this. Pulls in a dozen golf balls. No, there's no tailor-made blacks. Yeah. You want them? We love you, dude. But wait, this is a roast.
I'm good.
Actually, Donna arranged this birthday celebration for Chuck on his 50th birthday. And it's a really cool thing. So Jack and I were invited to go with another one of our colleagues, San Diego State colleagues, to Pebble Beach, play golf on Donna. So we're all over it, right? So how are we going to keep this a surprise? Well, we show up at the airport. It was a year. It's the same day we were going with it. Wait. Oh, no. Yeah. Anyway, I'm talking this story.
This is my future.
What Jack is saying is we had to keep it a secret for a year.
Yes.
Okay, so we show up at the airport, and Donna and Chuck are in line, Southwest, and Jack and I walk up behind him. So Chuck turns around and goes, "What are you guys doing here?" And I look at him, we're going recruiting. Because we were both coaching at the same time, so we're going recruiting. He goes, "Oh." And then I look at him again, "We're going to Pebble Beach." And he goes, "Oh my God." And all of his, three of his best friends are going with him. And he didn't know.
She also on my 50. She kept that a secret too. As you can tell, you want to keep a secret from me. I think it's pretty easy.
So anyway, it was a phenomenal trip, and we had a great time. And Chuck played pretty well, actually. Pretty hard golf course. But I asked him just a minute ago to tell this workout story. I tried to get this guy to work out with me for over 20 years. We worked together for over 20 years. I would go in his office almost daily. "Hey Chuck, let's go do some stairs. Let's go in the weight room." And I'll go if you just want to go play basketball, which we did. So one day he finally went with me, and I'll let you tell the rest of it. And I'm gonna sit down.
The one you ruined me on?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you this. I can tell.
Oh, yeah.
So, one of Mark's favorite workouts was that they had this hip sled, they call it, in the weight room. You stack these 45-pound weights on each side until you get up to, how many ever you can lift, and start doing squats. You're laying on your back and you're pushing these things up. Well, Mark was really good at it. I mean, he worked on it readily. And so, in baiting Chuck says, "Okay, I can hang. He's going to do it this one day." Well, he did. He finished it. Almost collapsed, but he finished it. Mark goes, "Good job, Chuck. Okay, we'll be in here tomorrow." Chuck started to think, well, I'm not so sure about that. Anyway, it was probably, you're not sore the first day, it's the second day, right? Yeah. So, we show up to play basketball and Chuck comes in like this. Just looks at Mark and he goes, I hate you, my wife hates you, and my dog hates you. At the time, Chuck and Donna were living in a townhome over in La Mesa, 3 stories, up the stairs, and he was just dying. I don't know how many of you have ever lifted weights, especially with your legs and quads and butt and all that. I'm telling you, it's like you're paralyzed and sore 24 hours a day. It's unbelievable. Anyway, thanks, Mark. So, one other story. You know, we really respect Chuck for his duty in Vietnam and all that. And so one day we asked him to tell us some stories because we hear about what was going on over there. And since then, you know, we've all been brought up to speed in terms of what was going on over there in reality and what our young guys were having to go through. Not only fighting the enemy, but fighting our own people. Right? I mean, it was not good. And so Chuck tells a story about one time he's sleeping in this bunker, right? So they used to dig these holes, they were fairly large, and they put sandbags all around it in case the mortars came in. Well, Chuck was sleeping in there, you know, because he didn't have guard duty or anything this particular time, sleeping on his back. And so he says, I was snoozing away, and all of a sudden I feel this pressure on my chest. And I open one eye, and there's this rat. It's probably like this big. Yeah. He says, and then I open the other eye, and I see these 2 yellow teeth, like right here in front of me. So all of a sudden, I'm up, I throw my arms up, the rat goes wherever. I grab M16 machine gun, and he starts lighting up the inside of this bunker.
It's too heavy, I can't hold it. I got the trigger.
Yeah, trying to kill this rat. Well, okay, so now all the rest of his buddies who are not in the bunker, they come running, right? Because they think they're getting attacked or whatever. Well, they are by him. But so when the dust clears, he explains the story to them, right? And they're just looking at it like incredulously. But as you look around the edges of the bunker, all these ammo boxes are there, stacked up. I mean, live ammo in there, and he's lighting up the entire inside of this thing, right? Is that true?
My mother's here.
Yeah. Well, you know, we got lucky there because he survived that, right? So. Another time he's on guard duty in this tower, you know, looking out. He's up there with a buddy, and it's boring, dark, you know. And so they decide. Oh, and they're looking down, and they can see these big rats crawling around down below. So they decide, okay, we're going to have a contest. We're going to see who the first one of us can kill one of these rats, and what we're going to use are sandbags. And when they crawl underneath your position, just grab the sandbag, boom. And so they start doing it. You know, and then miss. So Chuck goes over, and he lets this thing go, and it's dropping. What are those, 40 feet high? You know those towers? I got him. Okay, hey up. All of a sudden he looks back, and the sandbag is doing it. The rat just took off. So there were some funny times over there too, but mostly not. It was not good. Anyway. I told Chuck the other day, and this is a true story. I told Chuck the other day that what he's done in the past few years, to me, is the best thing he's ever done. Ever. Yeah. Well, Well, let me touch on coaching at San Diego State, especially a minor sport, because I did that. It was hell, because you have no money to recruit with. You take what you get, and then they expect you to win. Okay, and that's tough to do. Chuck went through a time when he had to coach both sports, right? And Mark and I have done both sports, but they're opposite seasons, right? You have the women in the fall, you have the men in the spring. But when you have both teams, same season, that's unbelievably tough. And the expectation of the athletic department is just like the football coach. They expect you to get it done. There were times when we would send Donna with one of the teams just as an escort. He'd take the other team, coach their match, get on a plane and fly to the other team, and do that in the same weekend. And then get back to school on time, kids go to class, and you start all over again. It was really tough. Now that they've got money, you can see they've done really, really well. They have good facilities, which we didn't really have. You know, our sports arena was Peterson Gym. Right? Tough to recruit there when you're playing at USC and UCLA. So, anyway, that's commendable for him. Did a great job over there.
Thank you. I'll add real quick to that story. It wasn't altruistic on my part also. We had a choice one time of sending the men to Fresno and the women going to Hawaii. Who do you think went to Hawaii? I went to Hawaii, and Donna went with the assistant coach to Fresno. So, yeah, it was tough. But thank you all. I mean, hopefully we're finished. Guys, it's been very special. Absolutely. Before he speaks, I want you to know that my competitive spirit came from both my mother and my father. My father was a race car driver, and a lot of people know he raced modified sprint cars and was the all-time point champion of Southern California. In the late 50s, early 60s, he actually raced inside of Balboa Stadium where the Chargers played one year, and raced inside there in Ascot, and he took over a car from Parnelli Jones who went on to Indy. And my dad had to quit one day because 3 drivers were killed and he had a family of 6, and we were all just like stare-snapped. And he put his family first and said, hey, I need to go work and everything else. And this is where I learned my sense of humor came from my mother. I want to be roasted. My mom.
Well, I didn't know this was going to be about me. When Chuck was growing up, he was very smart, got good grades, and I called him my statistician. He could tell you every address we lived at, every phone number we ever had, everybody's age and when they were born, on and on and on. He was a very good student, very scholastic. One thing he didn't have was any mechanical skills. And he didn't want to learn any either. Somehow or another, we managed to teach him how to drive. We had a couple of stick-shift cars, no automatics. So anyway, he finally got through that, and we let him drive the truck to school. And later on, he got his first car. It was a hand-me-down from his grandfather. And it was Volkswagen. So as you all know, Volkswagens are a little bit different than ordinary cars. So his grandpa and I were showing him a couple of things that he should learn about the car before he takes off with it. First thing we had to show him was the engines in the back. and when you know that. And then we had to show him how to open the back. And that was the motor. And here's where the oil goes. And here's how you check the oil. Well, he didn't know that either. So then I pointed out that Volkswagen's a very small car, but it's easy to drive, you know, shift and it stops good and everything. But you need to learn a couple things about it because it is different than an ordinary car. First of all, if you have a flat tire, there's a certain place the jack goes inside the car. And the jack is up in front. So you have to open the front to get the jack out. And the spare tire is there. So before, my dad and I said, before you drive this car, you're going to learn how to change a flat tire. And Chuck says, I don't have to learn how to change a flat tire. I'm going to have all my flat tires at home.
You know, these events are like movies. At 2 hours, we began to lose our focus. We gotta go to the bathroom. At my age, I've already been once or twice. So anyway, I'd like to bring someone up. Donna, would you please come up? But a lot of you haven't met my wife and everything. She has done everything for me and pushed me to things that I would have never accomplished without her. I'm serious. She was the president of a food company. She did everything. She's won her battle against cancer twice, and she's done everything. And first of all, the main thing she did is say yes to me that 34 years ago. That was number one. That was the best. At lunch, you know, my lunches, they always, you know, they smell good. They're always, you know, right there. But she's taken care of me and loved me forever. Both of our boys, and loved our family and been part of the family. And I couldn't have done it without her. And the first thing she said, "You're retiring? You figure out 3 days a week to do something." And that's a sign of a good marriage. No, I couldn't imagine life without it. And if you're as lucky as I am to find someone that you love this much, you know, you're blessed in your life. You know that, don't you? So I want to thank all of you because you're, and especially Cecilia and Mike, because you are, and I'm sorry, but I had one drink, and when I have one drink, bets are off. And I didn't know the kids, you know, I didn't realize they were there. Mike, you're still number one. And Cecilia, thank you. And my team, I used to be on Team UCLA. I got traded away to Team Cal. It was on Team Cal and everything, and thank you very much. And I appreciate it. Everybody, thank you for coming, and I look forward to seeing you for 4 days in a wake up. Thank you. That's okay.
Yeah.
We're good.
Wait, just one more thing.
One more time going down.
One more thing, don't.
Okay, everybody, here. Let's open up. Okay. And by the way, I'd like to thank Elizabeth Cordell. Elizabeth Cordell gave me the greatest gift you could get at middle school. She took all the duty for the whole year and spread it out to all the friends here.
You're welcome.
And I wanted to thank you. They're in this room here that took my duty.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
That was a great gift. I didn't want to. Oh, what's this? Oh, no way. Oh, my new job. I'm going to be going to the beach looking for stuff in the sand. No, that's for sand, picking out stuff in the sand. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, 2 hours. The